feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. When it's in your
Hey everyone, welcome to the post-show wrap-up of the Shrimp Tank Podcast Show. I'm your host, Rich Jensen, along with my co-host, David Sims, and our special guest today, Mike Gardner. We focused primarily on rehirement today. Mike is a former executive at Walmart, at Family Life, and currently a real estate developer, although real estate development's been in his career his entire life. Each week on the post-show wrap-up, we like to highlight some of the very best nuggets that we were able to pull out of our guests. It was a great show. You'll want to go to arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com to listen to the entire podcast. And as always, this video and all our post-show wrap-up videos are available on YouTube. So, David, we had a really good time talking with Mike.
It's a great show. Yeah, it was a great show. Been trying to get him on for a long time and finally got him. You need to listen to the podcast because he talks about, this is the way you do retirement, which we call rehirement. And it is to basically work on what you want to work on and spend the time you want to spend with the people you want to spend to and that you can help. And he talked a lot about that. But one of the things we wanted to share on the video, Mike, was the fact that we asked a question about your transition from Walmart to in your first rehirement to Family Life, and then from Family Life to what you're doing now in your second rehirement. And share with our viewers what that was and what you learned from that.
Well, I think really what I was talking about was taking the values from one effort to the other. And having been at Walmart a long time, we had values. We valued the customer. We valued our people. And we always valued continuous improvement and striving for excellence. And I think those values work almost any venture there is. And so whether it was a nonprofit or whether it was for-profit, I think those are kind of biblical all the way through because continuous improvements, humility about what you do well and what you don't do well, valuing others is just that. It's all the others. So I think all of those things work really, really well as you go from any venture.
Yeah, that's really good.
Now, Mike's one of the people that he was young in his 20s, but he was actually there when Sam Walton was there. And so he got to learn from him, work directly with him, in a sense, not quite the inner circle. But
Oh, definitely not the inner circle.
But at the height, you guys were opening about 360 supercenters a year, which you had a hand in a lot of those. So you said something about consistency and how that came about to get to that level. Share with our viewers, especially entrepreneurs. Sometimes we try to run out and swallow the elephant all in one bite. So talk about what you learned there.
Well, what we did is we kind of approached it in a very consistent way. So I was there 24 years, and we had a consistent development program that entire time. It's not as though you started one year, stopped the next. And many businesses or definitely retailers did a lot of that back in the day. Ours targeted 8% square footage growth because that was a growth rate that we thought we could handle financially, also from a people standpoint. Even then, it ended up being probably a bit too aggressive in hindsight. But the good part was financially it was never a problem. It's trying to keep up with the people, and at some point that was a bit difficult.
One of the things I liked that you said about that was it wasn't like you set out to start opening 360 stores a year. It was just it was accretive. It was something where all of a sudden you look back and you go, "Wow, this thing has gotten huge." While you focused on the details.
What happens is if you say you're going to be a growth company, well, the larger you get, the harder it is to be a growth company. Right.
Yeah.
And so you just have to be patient about that and not get ahead of yourself or output the coverage. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Mike, we talked about the whole show was about rehirement. Your two rehirements, which is the idea that once you have enough money to fund your living expenses through death and accomplish your goals, how are you going to give back? What are you going to do? And you talked about some of the legacy goals that you have, and share that with our viewers.
Well, first of all, I am fortunate enough to be fairly comfortable. I mean, it takes hard work to get to this point, as you guys know. But I've been my focus is generally speaking on people and dealing with people. They may not like being around me, but I am energized by being around young people, and so we have really focused on young adults, my family, and then I've got some one-on-one mentoring that I do.
Yeah.
And so, to me, that's what I want to be remembered by.
Yeah. And you're keeping relationships first. I mean, those are the things that last forever, and that's what you're investing heavily in your retirement. And you got to learn more. Our viewers, you would really benefit from listening to the whole podcast and hearing Mike's story. So.
So, Mike, for one, I know we ended with you talked about liking to mentor young people, et cetera, et cetera. So if someone wanted to get a hold of you, maybe, or talk about mentoring or learn more about real estate development, since you did that for so many years so successfully, what would be the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Probably email is the easiest way to connect. And my email address is mgardner, Gardner, at naicapstone.com.
N as in Nancy, A as in
yes.
Apple, I as in Isaac.
India.
Yeah.
India.
Yeah, you know those kind of things.
Capstone.
I don't know any of that stuff.
And just to clarify, NAI Capstone is not so much, hey, we want to find out and we want to use you guys. You're more of a private development company, or do people hire you guys for?
My partner is the principal broker, the executive broker for that firm. That's his company.
Got it. Okay.
I use his email address,
You guys-
and he's
you
my
guys-
partner. So yeah, this is just something I use. Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, hey, next week you want to tune in again. We'll have Natalie Gadati of Gadati Communications coming on the show. So I encourage you to tune in again next week. In the meantime, go ahead and subscribe on iTunes. You can do that, and also go to arkansas.shrimptankpodcast.com. Until next week, stay safe, and remember, in the business world, to become a shark, we all start out as shrimp.